Hello, and welcome back to the Southwestern Herbal Academy podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something that is really at the core of herbal medicine, and that is how herbalists think about illness. Because this is where herbal medicine starts to feel very different from what most people are used to. Not just in what we use, but in how we think, how we look at the body, how we understand symptoms, and how we decide what to do. And if you can understand the shift in thinking, everything else in herbal medicine starts to make a lot more sense. Most people are used to thinking about illness in a very specific way. You have a symptom, you match it to a condition, and then you take something to get rid of it. Headache, take something for pain. Heartburn, take something to reduce acid. Congestion, take something to dry it up. It's very direct, and sometimes that's helpful. But it's also very focused on removing the symptom as quickly as possible, and that's where herbal thinking begins to shift. Instead of asking, how do we get rid of this symptom, herbalists tend to ask, why is this happening? What is the body trying to do? What is out of balance? What is not functioning well? Because symptoms are not random. They are signals. They are the body communicating something. And if we only suppress the signal, we may miss what the body is actually trying to tell us. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts. In herbal medicine, symptoms are not always seen as something to eliminate immediately. Sometimes they are part of the body's attempt to correct a problem. For example, a fever is not just something to bring down. It's part of the immune response. Loose stools are not always something to stop instantly. They may be the body clearing something out. Inflammation is not always the problem itself. It's often part of the healing process. Now, that doesn't mean we ignore symptoms. It means we look at them differently. We ask, is this something the body is doing on purpose? And if so, how do we support the body instead of working against it? At the heart of herbal thinking is the idea that the body is always trying to maintain balance. When something is off, the body adjusts. Sometimes those adjustments feel uncomfortable, but they are often part of the body trying to return to a stable state. So instead of seeing illness as something that just happens randomly, herbalists tend to see it as a process where something has shifted out of balance and the body is trying to respond. Another key difference is that herbalists don't usually look at just one symptom. They look at patterns. For example, instead of just noting headache, we might ask, when does it happen? What does it feel like? What else is happening in the body? Is there tension? Is digestion off? Is sleep poor? Because all of those pieces matter. They help tell the story of what's going on. Two people can have the same symptom, but for completely different reasons. And that means they need completely different support. In herbal medicine, we often think in terms of systems rather than isolated issues. So instead of treating a symptom directly, we might support the digestive system, the nervous system, the immune system, the circulatory system. Because when those systems function better, symptoms often improve naturally. For example, if someone has ongoing digestive discomfort, we might not just try to stop the discomfort. We might support digestion itself. And as digestion improves, the symptom resolves. It's not about quick fixes. This is where herbal medicine can feel very different. It's not always about immediate results. It's about gradual improvement. Because many health issues develop over time, and they often require consistent support to shift. That doesn't mean herbs don't work. It means they work in a way that builds over time. Let's take something common, like trouble sleeping. The conventional approach might be, take something to make you sleep. The herbal approach might be, why isn't sleep happening naturally? Is the nervous system overstimulated? Is digestion affecting sleep? Is there a pattern of stress that isn't being addressed? And then we support those areas. Maybe we use calming herbs. Maybe we adjust evening habits. Maybe we support digestion earlier in the day. And over time, sleep improves. Not because we forced it, but because we supported what was getting in the way. Herbalists rely heavily on observation. This includes noticing patterns, paying attention to changes, seeing how the body responds over time. This is not guesswork. It's a skill that develops with practice, and it's something anyone can begin to learn, even at a basic level. Another important idea is that herbal medicine is highly individual. Two people with the same diagnosis may not be treated the same way because their bodies are different, their patterns are different, their responses are different. So instead of asking, what is the herb for this condition, we ask, what does this person need? That shift changes everything. Herbal medicine often works through support rather than force. Instead of pushing the body in a specific direction, we give it what it needs to function better. This might include calming the nervous system, improving digestion, reducing irritation, and supporting elimination. And when those things improve, the body often corrects itself. Working with the body, not against it. This is really the core idea. Herbalists try to work with the body's processes, not override them, not suppress them, but support them. That doesn't mean we never intervene strongly. It means we choose our approach carefully. In today's world, this approach matters more than ever because many people are dealing with chronic stress, long-term imbalance, ongoing low-level symptoms, and those don't always respond well to quick fixes. They require a different way of thinking, a more supportive approach. Now, all of this might sound like a lot, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't need to analyze everything all at once. You can start simply. Pay attention to one pattern. Support one system. Use one or two herbs consistently and observe what changes. That's how this process begins. Understanding how herbalists think about illness changes how you approach your health. You stop chasing symptoms. You start understanding your body. You begin to see patterns, and you begin to support your body in a more meaningful way. Herbal medicine is not just about herbs. It's about perspective. It's about learning to see the body as something that is trying to function well, even when it doesn't feel that way. Thank you for joining me today. If you're just getting started and want help building that foundation, I've created the Herbal Foundation Starter Guide. It walks you through the basics in a simple, practical way so you can begin understanding and using herbs without feeling overwhelmed. You can download that on my website. And as you move forward with this, start paying attention to patterns, not just symptoms, because that's where the real insight is. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.